Alrighty, here we go. Battle City action, and this is the last round of the Battle City season, so this is everybody's last match, as we've got Yugi taking on Lumis and Umbra in this one. And if we look back, we actually see how bad Yugi's deck actually is. Despite the fact that he won Battle City in the anime, if you use Yugi's deck from the anime in real life, you actually see just how underwhelming it actually is. Lumis and Umbra, on the other hand, they have been one of the worst performing duelists of the whole season. As I do believe, they are only sitting above strings. I believe Lumis and Umbra are 15th. But Lumis and Umbra start off here and they go with a face down spell or trap. Yugi doesn't have a great hand. He's only got Gazelle in there. There's Summon Skull. And there we go, Yugi decides to put down his Gazelle, the King of Mythical Beasts. If it can last a turn, oh, Mysterious Puppeteer. So it's a stalemate in attack and defense. Yugi could get Summon Skull to the field next turn. He goes for Soul Taker. So Mysterious Puppeteer can bring life points towards a player, and Lumis and Umbra could also. I don't think they have any actual tributing monsters in their deck, but they do have a ritual. So removing Mysterious Puppeteer from the field may still be a good choice. Shining Abyss comes to the field at 1600, so unfortunately for Yugi, he won't be able to get his Summon Skull to the field, and he's in a bit of a difficult position now because he doesn't really have any good cards. Well, good cards, but none of them do anything together. And Yugi is going to have to pass without... He hasn't played any cards. In fact, there's really nothing he can play that's really going to give him any benefit. And Lumis and Umbra have the chance here to really take control of this duel. And straight to the battle phase with Shining Abyss, 1600 off Yugi. Lumis and Umbra, would you believe it, have choice... Oh no, there we go. They finally played something down. I thought... And okay, there's another... I thought they weren't going to play any cards out of their hand. Draw phase. Monster Reborn. Okay, Yugi will be able to get Summon Skull to the field. Oh, Mask of Restrict. How about that? Alright, Mask of Restrict is going to stop Yugi from being able to get Summon Skull to the field. Mask of Restrict means neither player contribute. And this very much favours Lumis and Umbra. Well, so this may be a very interesting match. Unless Yugi can get that Mask of Restrict off the field, he may very well have a difficult time actually getting back in this match. There's Mask of Remnants, that will just shuffle the deck. Alright, so Yugi with not much he's able to do here. He's going to have to hope for a good draw. Lumis and Umbra in for another attack, and... Alright, I'm heading to the comments. There we are. Okay. Yugi has now played Monster Reborn. So, what did he draw? I was looking down. I didn't see what that face down card was that Yugi played. So he's brought back Mysterious Puppeteer, but he can't tribute it because of Mask of Restrict. And Yugi, well, he's had to use his Monster Reborn to protect his life points. Oh, okay, it was a Light Force Sword. So Lumis and Umbra will ditch a card for 4 turns out of their hand. Okay, time for comments. Joe Lowe's 7893. I had an idea for Duelist Kingdom run. Could Serenity beat Duelist Kingdom, make her deck focused on fairy monsters, and her ace, of course, would be St. Joan? Serenity Wheeler taking on Duelist Kingdom is definitely an idea. Put together a fairy deck, just try and differentiate it a little bit from Taya's. Taya uses... Oh, here we go, card destruction from Yugi. May give a little bit of... Wow. Yugi has drawn absolute garbage. Oh, there we go. Beta the Magnet Warrior. He's finally got something to get over a 1600 attack. Alright, down goes Beta at 1700. And forget about it. The Spellbinding Circle is gonna stop Beta the Magnet Warrior right in its tracks. Lumis and Umbra have got all the answers in this one. Yugi is slowly being squeezed out here. He can't summon Baphomet either. Mask of Restrict is still on the field. Serenity taking on Battle City also is in the agenda as well at some point. In terms of season, I think after the Battle City season ends, I think I'll hold off on doing a future season just for a little bit. I think I'll focus on some mini-series, doing it with the Big Five and some of those sorts of players as well, and maybe make some decks for what's his name, Alistair, Darts, etc., Raphael, those guys, and go from there, and then see if there's a potential season to happen before we go straight into GX, because I'll have to do a little bit of research before setting up GX. I might even try and watch GX again, as well as Yugi activates Chain Destruction, but it won't do any good. Glenn Devo says, my finishing with Kaiba's Blue Eyes is the kind of pettiness I've always loved about her character. Harpies for the win. The Harpies deck, if you put together a Harpy deck that is at full power, that deck is insanely strong. And at some point, I can't remember who it was who said the idea, but it's using all the Yu-Gi-Oh characters. They all come together for a tournament, but it's like 10 years later, and they've all got like updated decks. So you've got Yugi using a Dark Magician, Archetype deck, Joey using a Red Eyes, Kaiba and the Blue Eyes, obviously. Mai using like a complete Harpy Archetype deck. So basically an Archetype tournament, but it's with like the characters as if that's what they've built their decks around. You know, we can use Insector or something for Weevil. There's a few good dinosaurs. Dino Wrestlers, for example, for Rex Raptor. Plenty of possibilities out there. Elemental Heroes for Jaden as well. I mean, they are an archetype. Emperor Pikachu 2013 with comments on all three videos from yesterday. Let's go, chum. Harpies is a great deck. And good job, Jaden. Get your game on. I've really enjoyed Jaden's run so far. It's been quite fun watching these elemental heroes, as Mask of Weakness has just been flipped up. Yugi cannot catch a break in this match. Lumis and Umbra, if they played like that and drew cards like that throughout the series, they would have been a much better rated player. Alright, well, we'll swap the perspective around. I'm going to go for more comments. Crimson Maelstrom says, Mai's deck is much better at getting its best cards out than Kaiba's. And honestly, if Final Countdown was used in the anime, I'd be listening for the song by the band Europe in the background. We all know. It's a final countdown. Oh, we all know that song. It's, when I was a kid, I used to love that song. I listen to it now as an adult, and I'd skip it. But I mean, it's still still got its place in One Hit Wonders history, because Europe never really had another big hit other than Final Countdown. Like, if you asked me to name another song from the band Europe, I could not. Final Countdown's the only song I know from Europe. Crimson Maelstrom also says, the main flaw with the Paradox Brothers deck is that their boss monster requires them to sacrifice 3 level 7 monsters. Not a big deal in the Duelist Kingdom season since they didn't have to tribute, but nowadays it's next to impossible. That is for the Gate Guardian. And, oh, Lumis and Umbra. They've just loaded their field. They've got Melchor the Four-Faced Beast at 2,500 with Mask of the Accursed, I think that's called. And a Mask of Darkness. So this is going to be 3,400 points off Yugi. He is not looking good at all. And now Lumis and Umbra would have got to see... Oh, there we go. Oh, was that a Magnet Warrior? I didn't see what Magnet Warrior it was, but it was one of them. So unless Yugi's got like... Oh, here we go. He goes for a Tribute. Dark Magician Girl. Well, it's not 2,500. And Lumis and Umbra went straight for Yugi's life points. Oh, a Magic Formula. That's a 700 point increase. Yugi has the perfect cards for a counterattack. You might argue that Lumis and Umbra probably should have destroyed Yugi's face down. However, Lumis and Umbra could possibly not have suspected that Yugi would have Dark Magician Girl with Magic Formula right at the start of the duel. And Mask of Restrict is still there. They didn't play it. I mean, they've got the Masked Beast in their hand. Now, remember, if Lumis and Umbra have Mask of Restrict on the field, they can't Ritual Summon. So with Masked Beast in hand, that would explain why Lumis and Umbra didn't go for Mask of Restrict, but it may come back to haunt them here. They are up 1-0, so... But have a look at this for a start from Yugi. After his absolute turd duel in the last round, he's come out this one all guns blazing. Okay, Slinger 0083. I recognise the profile picture. I think there might be a name change somewhere there. What I like most about this series is that it demonstrates just how strong supporting characters' decks are, and that most main duelists' best strategy is plot armor. Well, that is certainly correct for Yugi. Yugi's plot armor in that show is just out of this world. Yugi's deck is not that good. Alright, another 1,600 off Lumis and Umbra. And they are now in trouble. They are probably going to lose this match. They would have felt pretty confident with a 2,500 on the field. And that does no good. Lumis and Umbra are going to pick up a loss in this match. If they were a little bit more patient and maybe got rid of the defense first, it could have been a different story, but we still don't know what Yugi has in his hand. He may have found another way, but well, that's what Lumis and Umbra went for. They went straight for Yugi's life points, and Yugi was able to get one up on him. Alright, there's card destruction. Lumis and Umbra just flipped up their Sword of Dark Destruction, I guess, just as a show me what you got. But this one is all over. As soon as Yugi launches an attack, and he's not going to. Yugi is going to summon Slifer the Sky Dragon, which amazingly doesn't have a summoning intro like some monsters do on this, but Lumis and Umbra will flip up Mask of Weakness, but it won't matter from here. Alright, it's 1-1, and we will go to a tiebreaker between Yugi and Lumis and Umbra. Okay, Katomi758 says, I was rewatching the Kaiba and Ishizu duel, and it irked me how Ishizu could have won the duel after she activated Exchange of the Spirit to swap the graveyard cards with the ones in the deck. She was all I want to do is save my brother, and she out there flooding her field with monsters and not going for the win. It's, I mean, the anime is always a bit questionable here at times, but still, it's good fun. Particularly Duelist Kingdom. There's a lot of nuances in that series where they are just not legitimate rules. Mystical Elf changing its attack to one of its allies, for example, is a good one. And Magical Hats. Magical Hats don't give you 4, they only give you 3, and you have to sacrifice your magic and trap cards from your deck to use it. in the show, there's 4 of them, and Yugi can put trap cards under there and wait for his opponent to attack. Oh, look at that. Shining Abyss again. It's 1800 defense, so Yugi's Magnet Warrior can't get through, but Yugi does have Summon Skull this time. So maybe you can get that musty old skull to the field this game. Sukowski, 1978. Jaden's deck has a lot of synergy. His fusions give him great effects, and his cards seem to get needed. Give him great cards, and he seems to get his needed cards onto his girls, or at least to his hand. Crimson Maelstrom 573. Elemental Hero is one of the most consistent archetypes in old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Great fusions and good at swarming the field. And Slinger 0083 also says, love those Avengers moments when Jaden gets multiple heroes on the field. It is a little bit like an Avengers movie with Jaden's deck sometimes. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to shock my entire listening audience. And I know a lot of you will not believe me when I say this, but I have never seen Marvel and DC movies, superhero movies. I have literally never watched. I could say I've never watched any of them. I think I saw Spider-Man 2 when I was like 10. I might have been a little bit older than 10. But I saw that in the cinema when that came out. I've seen one of the Batman movies, but I don't remember which one it was. Was it Dark Knight Rises? It's the one with Bane, and he's on the football field. And Batman falls into like the big chasm, and he has to climb out. That's literally all I remember of the movie. Have I seen any other? I'm talking Marvel and DC. I think they might be the only two that I've ever actually seen. Literally, I've never watched them. They've just never been big on me, the whole superhero thing. The concept is cool. I'm not like against the concept or anything. It's just with the limited time that I have in each day, Marvel and DC just don't make the cut when it comes to everything else. So maybe one day I will watch them all. But if I do, I want to do it as like I want to watch it with someone who's seen them all before, and it's going to be me watching them for the first time. That sort of content can be pretty funny sometimes, because I'm not going to understand what the hell's going on in any of them. But no, and to God, that is the truth. Marvel and DC, you could ask me what character is this character, Marvel or DC, and literally you'll be giving me a 50-50 every time. Right, Moonwolfie says, finishing Kaiba off with his own blue eyes while she had 1100 life points left was poetic. My girl Mai beating Kaiba. I thought Mai was going to lose that second round, but she finally pulled out the harpy lady she needed to get the sisters to the field. Also from Moonwolfie, Chum using negate attack twice to save his powered up monsters was brilliant. As was using the card that returns a beast monster to his hand. That's Beast Soul Swap. That's a really good card, that as well. In order to bypass Soul Exchange and that Sexton's Duel. Paradox Brothers would not have been happy about that. They probably would have done a few flips out of frustration how Chumley played that match. It's always fun though with Paradox Brothers. Moonwolfie also says, instead of Avengers Assemble, it's Elemental Heroes Assemble. I love the two variations of Flame Wingman. It's always nice to see some of the original fusions make an appearance. Thunder Giant as well. I really like Elemental Hero Thunder Giant. He's got a really good effect too. And, well, looking at this duel, there's not a lot happening, but it looks like Lumis and Umbra may be set for a loss here. And here is another. Joe Lowe's 7893 says, say my name and I will appear. Joe Lowe's is here. Para, we have been trampled by a mighty beast. Ducks, don't worry, Fox, we still have our jobs at least. Another fantastic Paradox rhyme. If you were watching back in the Duelist Kingdom days as well, Joe made a rhyme for almost every Paradox Brothers match. And same with all the other miniseries that we had with the Duelist Kingdom ones, Jaden taking on Duelist Kingdom, Rebecca's, all that. Whenever there was a Paradox Brothers match, I knew there was a rhyme coming that I was going to wake up to the next day and see. As it looks like Lumis and Umbra are done, they've just flipped up sort of Stark Destruction and equipped it to Yugi's side, which means they know they're beaten. There's Jack's Knight. Yugi does have Dark Magician, but, well, Yugi has managed to come back from a duel down to take this 2-1. There goes Gazelle, the king of mythical beasts. And that musty old summoned skull picks up the win. Alright, there are a few more comments, but I'll go through them in Chum's video. And Chum's match is coming up next. Chum Lee is against Tristan, and it's going to be Tristan's last match before I retire the deck, because it's doesn't really serve that much purpose to keep Tristan going in these Duelist Kingdom runs. Might as well remove Tristan and Mokuba. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, take care. Thanks for leaving all the comments, and farewell.